Yo, welcome back to the Diaries, episode 67. I'm filming this on a Monday, and I should have filmed an episode at the end of last week, but if I'm being totally honest, I couldn't be bothered. I was also a little bit busy, but I didn't find the time to do it, so I'm filming it today, which I don't usually film on a Monday because Monday's pretty busy, and today it has been pretty busy. I took a couple of days off over the weekend, which was nice, but then you log in on Monday morning, you see emails, you see Slack messages, and you're like, oh shit. I got a lot of fires to put out, and some of the stuff that went wrong over the weekend we didn't catch until this morning, which isn't amazing. So trying to sort that stuff out. We're also having issues with our PayPal account, and that is also the account that we use to pay some team members as well, which is not fun. So been also on the phone to them, trying to sort that out. I've got to give them a call after I film this video again. So yeah, lots of like admin stuff, problems to solve, not much creative work today. In terms of this business, I was chatting with me and my business partner were chatting at the end of last week, just trying to refigure our content strategy. So I've talked about this before on the channel where, we were bringing in a lot of leads, but a lot of like low quality leads. And that came down to the type of content that we were creating. And if I'm being totally honest, I felt like we were being a little bit lazy with the content creation. Reels that are like, and you'll see the trend, like the point of view trend on Instagram Reels, or like just like the really short Reels that are like 5 to 10 seconds long with a bit of B-roll. And then you have like the caption. I feel like that was very easy for us to create and it got views. So we were kind of like rewarded for creating easy content, but we weren't rewarded financially for it. At the start of the year or at the end of last year, start of this year, we had a few pieces of content go really viral, really like it was good from a views point of view, from a followers point of view, from like a energetic and momentum point of view. But when we actually looked at the finances and the numbers, there was no difference in income during those months or the months just after that. So even though we got, 10,000 plus leads on the email list, we didn't in a short period of time. I think that was in 1 month, we got that. We didn't really see any increase in income, which is fucking crazy. So that was like a big issue. So we've been looking at finding people to help us / just having a talk with ourselves and being like, no, look, like we need to make like a big change in the content. We're also stepping away from certain messaging that we feel like is attracting those types of people. So not only creating content that creates more effort, more time, more thought, even if that does require us to lower the volume in which we're posting, but also like the underlying message underneath it as well. Because I have, luckily as an agency, like one of the best things of running an agency is you get to see the behind the scenes of lots of different businesses, and you kind of see like what's working and what's not. And because of that, you can probably understand why as well. And I've seen like I've had like 2 clients in the exact same niche. They're probably the biggest people in their niche on YouTube, I would say. They're like 2 of the most famous people in their niche. Very similar follower count. And I've seen the conversion numbers from person A's audience to person B. And the client A, their conversion rate was like 5, even in some senses like 10 times as much. So if you ran an offer, you'd convert 10 times as many people from like the same audience pool, which is crazy because they're in the same niche and they're competitors. So, and the reason why I believe is like the type of content that they use to grow their audience. One was a bit more short-term thinking, a bit clickbaity, and the other was a bit more grounded messaging. And I feel like that's attracting a more grounded, more mature audience versus person B, client B, was attracting more of a desperate audience. And those people typically aren't serious. They're not looking to pay for stuff. They're just looking to like get the result within 24 hours, And that's not really the type of people that pay money for stuff. So I felt like we fell in the trap of following client B and creating that type of content that, wasn't attracting the right type of people. So it's going to take us, because we're also in the middle of like one of the new offer that we launched last month / start of this month. So that's requiring a lot of time from like a creation point of view with filming new modules and stuff. So we're not being able to move on it as quickly as we want, which is a little bit frustrating, but it's taking a little bit of time. But I even think just taking a step back and creating some less content, but making it better quality and for the right type of people, I think is going to better serve us than, just doing like a 5-second reel that gets, 100,000 views. And it's just like, yeah, well, we get leads on the email list, but none of these people are buying. So I was on my friend has a podcast, and we were on that last week. He interviewed me. And one of the questions he asked, he pulled it up from like Reddit. He did this thing where he gets like a question from Reddit. And if the question was around like how to, as a beginner, like how to build an audience and like how would you go about monetizing that audience? And I gave a really shit answer. I don't even know. Like it was just, I didn't plan for the answer. So, he just told me the answer during the question during the interview. He told me it like 2 seconds before we went live, and it was one of the questions he asked, but obviously I didn't have time to think about it. And just in the moment, I gave a really crappy answer. I think about low ticket, high ticket. I don't know. It was the worst answer ever. Like fucking go and watch the interview because I want to support my friend, but also don't watch the interview because I gave some like bullshit answers that were crap. Wasn't my, I wasn't very on it that day for whatever reason. I gave some shitty answers. But the answer what I probably should have given is, and it's a lesson that we've relearned recently, which is, how you grow your audience massively impacts how you can monetize it. And the content that you grow your audience with is either going to make or break the conversion rates. Because we've seen it, I've seen it again with our clients. We've worked with people with, 500,000 subscribers on YouTube, and they can't even sell, like 50 versions of the course because they grew the audience the wrong way. Whereas I've got other clients that like convert. We did like a launch for one of our clients, and the offer was 2 and 5K, and he converted like 5% of the people that from his audience, like around 4 or 5% of the people that registered for the event. This isn't like a 5% conversion rate on people who attended the webinar live. It's a 5% conversion rate for the leads. And it was a 2 to 5K offer, which is it's pretty nuts. People would be happy with that 5% conversion for that price point on the people who like showed up live, but he did it for the entire list. So I don't even know. We didn't track the people who attended live because it was just like a few different Zoom webinars, but I don't know what the conversion rate was of the people who were live because it was pretty nuts. That's like a big thing for us that we're reworking through. I know I've talked about it a little bit, but that is kind of like the main focus on top of, all the other stuff that we're doing. I try and like come up with new realizations or learnings for this stuff because, business is kind of boring sometimes. And like a lot of the time we're just doing very similar things, writing emails, promoting different products, launching different coaching programs in like the back end, or launching offering the coaching program in the back end. So it's not like any crazy strategy right now, but I've got a ton of stuff to do this week for this business, whilst we kind of like rework our like positioning and stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. I think in the short term, maybe we're going to get like less views and it's going to feel like we're going backwards a little bit. But I think once we crack the code on our new messaging and we understand how to create content around it, I think it's going to work really well. Because when we first started this business, we had like most of 2023 where our momentum was slow. And then we finally came across like a content type that went viral, and we rinsed and repeated it for like December and January over the last Christmas. So it took us like most of 2023 to understand, okay, wow, like this thing's popping off. So maybe I think we're just But because we had that, we're going to feel a little impatient with what we're doing now because we're not starting from scratch, obviously, but like it's different. So we're going to have to work out what messaging resonates and what type of content resonates. And it might take us a little bit of time. And yeah, maybe I just need to make sure that we stay patient, because I think something we've been guilty of a little bit is jumping around a little bit from strategy to strategy, content type to content type. And then sometimes we just revert back to what we know kind of worked previously, even though we know there was problems with it. So we're constantly trying to like realign ourselves and like pick a strategy and stay focused on it. But sometimes it's hard if something's already kind of worked in the past and you try something brand new and it doesn't work straight away. Do you still pursue that new thing because you feel like long-term it's going to be better? Or do you just revert back to what was kind of working before and just experience all the same problems again? So that's what we're kind of like running through. But yeah, other than that, everything else is good. Life's good. In Dubai now, the weather is getting cooler. So you can actually go for a walk outside. Life's good. Dubai is the best place in the world in the winter. It's so sick. And yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.